and Dwayne Wade right at the body of Anderson Varejao. Welcome to your Kodak moment, Anderson Varejao. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
And speaking of Giannis leaving, rumors are a big reason why the Knicks want to fire everyone around them is because they want Masai Ujiri and a chance at Giannis in 2021.
I think it's a huge stretch. A huge stretch. And I think
But it's the classic Knicks move.
Yeah, it is the classic Knicks move, but it's like, come on, guys. Like, look at history of your organization. Like,
Prepare for LeBron, sign Amari Stoudemire.
yeah, exactly. Like, even going back to when you had, like, Mark Jackson.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Mark Jackson's going to be a great fit and he's going to bring a whole bunch of
you guys
superstars.
did sign Michael Jordan for a day and a half before he went back to the Bulls.
Right. And
So-
that's the biggest signing we have made.
Yeah.
Look at Phil Jackson. Oh, Phil Jackson, like the god. Like,
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to get Joakim Noah. We're going to run the triangle in 2017.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get Derrick Rose, who is coming off probably the worst season in his career. And we're not going to get a point guard that's going to set the table for others. So we're just going to have him be repetitive. Joakim Noah is going to play like 40 games and is going to
we're
look
going to pay him
horrible.
like $18 trillion
And he's going to look horrible in every one of them.
Yeah.
And then other than that, we're not going to have anything going on. We're going to have Carmelo isolating, and we're going to have this giant Latvian dude just shooting the ball.
Yeah, who doesn't know what he's doing, and then he's going to stab us in the back.
Yikes.
Yeah. Oh, God, I don't understand. I do not understand why. Like, honestly, I don't.
Would you be fine with Fizdale being gone?
No, I would not be. It's because it's not Fizdale's fault. Fizdale does not have a roster at who is around him? Marcus Morris Sr. Like when Marcus Morris is your leading scorer.
But you have a very promising rookie in R.J. Barrett.
Exactly.
You have a decent big man in Julius Randle who averaged 20-plus points per game last year.
No, yeah.
And is just not looking as good this year. You have a lot of different players that they're trying to see make an impact, and they're just not doing that. And I think that's the real issue that they're having. All these players are supposed to have a real, are supposed to be able to band together and win some games. You have a lot of players that are just decent NBA players, and somehow they're still just never winning.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what happens when you have a team that starts off as bad as they did. But it's a dangerous situation when you bring together all these players that kind of shouldn't be there together. When you try to spread out your money in football, that works really well, but in basketball, that's never going to work. Because you can only have 5 players on the field at once.
Yeah.
And you're not going to sub out every 2 possessions.
No, yeah. And now everyone loves Fizz. All the players, the Knicks players. This is not Fizdale's fault.
I mean, what he's doing is questionable. His rotations have been questionable.
His rotations have been questionable. Like Frank Ntilikina playing 28 minutes a game is absolutely unforgivable.
You got one good game out of that.
Yeah. And now he put up, 3 points, 1 of 4 shooting? First, I still don't understand why Frank is on this team.
Because you're not going to get anything from him, so you might as well, try to make it work.
But listen, look, he's trying. He is trying so hard. And the thing is, yeah, okay, fine, Frank doesn't work. Who is he going to put in? Alonzo Trier?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, Alonzo Trier was good last year. He has not proven anything this year.
Yeah, and he's, yep.
Dennis Smith Jr.
I feel like he's exactly what Quinn Cook was.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a year and a half ago.
Okay, fine, Frank isn't working out. Let's put in Dennis Smith Jr. He did for 14 minutes. 0 points. And he only shot the ball 3 times.
Yeah.
You can't, Bobby Portis, 19 minutes, 7 points. He's trying. Kevin Knox, 32 minutes. 32 minutes, the second most minutes. 10 points.
Yeah.
He doesn't have anything to work with. He played RJ for 31 and got 21. He played Marcus Morris for 31, got 22. It's not his fault. He doesn't have anyone around him.
Yeah.
and this has been the problem. No, I'm sorry. No, this is a new problem with the Knicks.
What, the rotations and no one doing anything with the minutes they get?
Right, because like looking back when like Derek Fisher, let's say like look when Derek Fisher was that.
Derek Fisher should not be the standard for good coaching.
No,
Come
no,
on now.
he's not no. Like look at what Derek Fisher had. Carmelo.
Yeah.
Like the last year of good Carmelo, I would say Derek Fisher had.
The last year of winning Carmelo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The last year of winning Carmelo. I forget who else, but like
He had...
like okay, fine, not Derek Fisher, Jeff Hornacek.
Okay.
Jeff Hornacek had a former MVP, a former Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay, well, come on. No.
And they put up 17 wins.
Well, that's the whole former MVP, former Defensive Player of the Year. That's like taking an 82, however old Kareem is, bringing him back and being like, we have a 4-time MVP
No,
on our
I know,
team.
but I'm saying like the talent and the expertise and the knowledge of the game is there.
Yeah.
Was there.
Then again, Hornacek's whole game plan was, here's what we're going to do. Porzingis is going to post up, and everyone else is going to abandon the court.
Exactly. He's
And
like,
that's
okay,
what
we
got
only
him hurt. His workload was massive.
we only need 2 players on the court. We need Melo and Porzingis, and everyone else can just fuck off. This is the first time the Knicks have a real coach, but just no roster, and everyone is like, it's the coach's fault because that's what the Knicks do. Because that's the reputation
I feel like
that the
you
Knicks
can't
have.
argue that this is the coach's fault, though.
You can or cannot?
Yeah, the out of timeout plays aren't making a lot of sense. The game plan isn't making a lot of sense. The rotations are horrible, like real bad, and that's an issue when players are getting yanked halfway through their hot streak, and then they're sitting on the bench for the next 3 games, and then they're coming in and playing 35 minutes. Nothing's gonna make sense, and these players aren't gonna heat up. They're not gonna play well. And I understand that Fizz is trying to see what he has in every player, but you need to also give some concept to like winning and regularity. And I feel like Fizz hasn't done that. And you can argue, this isn't a team that is really ready to win. All of that. This is a team that's still going to be bad. The GM just doesn't know. Like Steve Mills is just overrating the players he has. But at the same time, you didn't expect to be at 2 wins. 2 wins over 10 games translates to about 16 on the season, just by following basic math.
Yeah.
And I mean, by that math, which isn't going to hold up, you're going to have stretches in the schedule where you start to look good, where you heat up, whatever. But I mean, how many the Knicks won how many games last year? 14, 15, something like that. At most it was like 17 or 18. At most it was 19.
I think it was 15.
Yeah. So you have all of that, and then you're on track to win essentially the same amount of games. And I don't think that's what they expected when they spent a lot of money in free agency. Like I think you could say the team this year is markedly better than the one last year because they didn't lose anyone; they just gained new players.
But who they like? AARPS Taj Gibson, but it's not like in football where the coach is also making the signings and the tradings and like the cuts. Like David Fizdale is just there
Marcus Morris is a very good player.
Yes, Marcus Morris is a good player.
Julius Randle is a very good player.
And RJ Barrett was an
amazing pickup.
A very obvious but a very amazing pickup. But other than that, he has Taj Gibson, Frank, Bobby Portis has his moments. Kevin Knox has not shown anyone anything.
I feel like Kevin Knox could end up with the Warriors, like we were talking about before, with the whole they need a decent small forward, because I think the Knicks are going to sell low on Kevin Knox just because they can't deal with another draft scenario where they draft someone 9th overall and he just doesn't work out.
Yeah.
So I think they could give up on him early, which would be a shame because I thought Kevin Knox could be good. But he's the new Rudy Gay.
Yeah.
Like he has his highlights, he can put up numbers sometimes, but you could argue that he leads to more losses than wins.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm glad he's not starting. Like that, I think that's certainly a good thing. I think having Marcus Morris start over him is certainly a more winning decision.
Mm-hmm.
But the roster with Fizz just doesn't make sense. Like, I mean, the roster certainly isn't as good. Like, no one expected them to be like 6-4 going into this 10-game stretch.
Yeah.
But they haven't looked good, and that's an issue because when you pay however much it was, Julius Randle got 3 years 90, I think. No, not 3 years 90, 3 years 60.
Yeah, it wasn't that.
Bobby Portis got like 15 a year. Marcus Morris got a 1 year 15. When you spend upwards of 50 mil in one offseason for 1 year of players, you're going to expect them to play. You're going to expect them to get actual playing time, all of that. You're going to expect some sort of improvement. And if Fizz can't improve this team, it doesn't matter how good he is for the young players, how much the young players love him. If he can't prove that he can win games, because as soon as he became the head coach of the Grizzlies, Conley took big steps up, but Gasol went way down, and they just never reached the same heights.
Yeah.
So, I think a coaching change doesn't make sense right now, but if you're 3 months later and they have like a 20% win percentage, that's and I don't care how many games they lose in close matchups at the end. It's worrying, and they need to figure it out.
Yeah.
And Fizdale could be on his way out, and it may not be entirely his fault, but that's just how it works. When it comes to the blame game, coaches are blamed the most, then it's GMs, then it's players, and then it's ownership. Unless it's the Knicks, in which case ownership is blamed over everything.
Yeah, because fucking Dolan.
Yeah. And, other than that, the Knicks are just not a great franchise.
No, they're not. And something needs to fucking change.
Yeah.
To fucking change.
Yeah.